Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Dracoslayer deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because this deck was actually suggested to me by one of my patrons, Braxton. And this deck is an extremely fun pendulum deck that can make some absolutely insane boards. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of Notification Squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards, like getting your name description in a single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month you're a patron. And definitely give Braxton some love down in the comments down below for suggesting such an awesome deck. So let's get straight on into this one, guys. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Phoenix. This card is a definite 3 of in the deck, and the main effect that we're going to be using on this card is if this card on the field is destroyed by battle by card effect, you can special summon a Dracoslayer monster from your deck, except another copy of this card, which is a great effect to be able to use with this card, and if you do, it is treated as a tuner, which is going to help you out in so many different plays. We then play 3 copies of Majesty Pegasus. Majesty Pegasus is a really cool 3 of in the deck as well that actually searches field spells, which is really good because we have a bunch of really good options that we can actually search off this card's effect. We then play 3 copies of Dynamite Power Load. Dynamite Power Load has an awesome scale effect that you can target a Dracoslayer or a Dynamis card in your other pendulum zone and special summon it, which is a great effect to be able to use on this card to just get you a monster on your side of the field. We then play 3 copies of Luster Pendulum. Luster Pendulum is an awesome combo piece as a 3 of in this particular deck. It has a great scale effect that once per turn, if you have a card in your other pendulum zone, you can destroy that card, and if you do, add 1 card from your deck to your hand with the same name as that card, which is a cool effect combo with your copy of your Phoenix to be able to pop Phoenix and get its effect off while also getting your copy of Luster Pendulum's effect off, which is just really cool. We then play 2 copies of Master Pendulum. Master Pendulum just comes in handy as a combo piece in the deck, because once per turn, while this card is in your pendulum zone, you can target 1 card in a pendulum zone and destroy it, which is a really awesome effect. We then play 3 copies of Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon. Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon is a really good 3 of in the deck, and the only effect that we're ever going to use on this card is to discard this card, pay 500 life points, and then add a level 8 or lower Dragon Pendulum monster from your deck to your hand, which is usually going to be one of your copies of your Luster Pendulum that you're actually searching off this card's effect. We then play a single copy of Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon. Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon is a great one of the deck to be able to combo with our copy of Sky Iris, because this card is the elite of an Odd Eyes card you control is destroyed by battle by card effect. You can special summon an Odd Eyes monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard, which is a pretty good effect to be able to use with this card, and it's a really good combo piece in this build. We then play 3 copies of Perform Pal Skull Crabat Joker. Joker is just really cool as a 3 of in the deck, because this card is the searcher for the searcher of the deck, which is really cool. Because when this card is normal summon, you can add a Perform Pal Magician Pendulum monster or an Odd Eyes monster from your deck to your hand, which can be your copies of Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon, which then will search your copy of your Luster Pendulum, which is just really neat. We then play a single copy of Pendulum Sorcerer. Pendulum Sorcerer is just insane in this deck as a 1 of. I really like this card as a combo piece, because if this card is special summon, you can target up to 2 cards that you control, destroy them, and if you do, add Perform Pal monsters with different names from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card, equal number of cards destroyed, which is a pretty good effect. We then play a single copy of Perform Pal Monkey Board. Monkey Board is really good as a 1 of, because it has a great effect to be able to search additional cards, because it has the ability to, during your main phase, if this card was activated this turn, you can add a level 4 or lower Perform Pal monster from your deck to your hand, making this card the searcher for the searcher, which is just insane that this card can actually search out your copy of Skull Crabat Joker, and then you can just normal summon Joker and then use Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon, then Revolution Dragon will go into Luster Pendulum, and then you have just so many combo lines for this deck that just search you so many different cards, and Monkey Board just adds an additional layer to that. We then play a single copy of Odd Eyes Seer. This card is almost like Astrograph Sorcerer. It's really cool as a 1 of in the deck, because it has the ability you can target a Perform Pal or Odd Eyes card in your graveyard and add it to your hand, then destroy this card, which is great to combo with your Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon, because Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon is really good because it's actually not a once per turn, so this card just counts as an additional copy of that card, which is super good about this card in the deck. And it's just really good to combo with your copy of Arc Pendulum as well. We then play a single copy of Perform Pal Odd Eyes Dissolver. This card is Polymerization, which is really cool because once per turn, you can fusion summon a Dragon Fusion monster from your X deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. And it also is a walking polymerization because during your main phase, you can fusion summon one fusion monster from your X deck using cards that you control as fusion material, as well as other monsters that you control or in your Pendulum Zone, which is a pretty good effect to be able to go into Vortex Dragon. We then play a single copy of Perform Pal Celestial Magician. Celestial Magician is really good because this card is a Perform Pal and a Magician Pendulum monster, which is just really good about this deck and has some insane effects because depending on what kind of monsters you have on the field depends on the effects this card gets. If you have a fusion, it can attack directly. If you have a synchro, your opponent cannot activate monster effects. If you have an XZ, this card's attack becomes double, going to 3k. And if you have a pendulum, during the end phase, you add a pendulum monster from your deck to your hand, which is a great effect to be able to use with this card. So that's it for the Dracoslayers and the Perform Pals and the Odd Eyes cards. Let's get into the other pendulum monsters that we're playing in the deck. So for the other Perform Pals, or the other Pendulum monsters that we're playing in the deck, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Harmonizing Magician. Harmonizing Magician is really good, and actually combos with one of our Perform Pal cards, which is going to be the Perform Pal Celestial Magician, because it is a Magician Pendulum monster, so you can actually special summon it off this card's effect, which is really neat. And I love playing 2 copies of this card because it's so easy to get to. You never really need 3 copies of this card in the deck. It's so easy to get to, and it's just a really good 2-up. We then play a single copy of Purple Poison Magician. This card is a great 1-of to be able to special summon off your copy of Harmonizing Magician. It's just a really good option in this deck. We then play a single copy of Astrograph Sorcerer. Astrograph Sorcerer is great as a 1-of in the deck, being able to just summon itself to your side of the field if a card gets destroyed. And it's just a really good card overall in this build. We then play 3 copies of the Magispector Raccoon Bonboko. Bonboko is a really good normal summon in the deck, because when this card is normal summoned to your side of the field or special summon, you can add a Magispector monster from your deck to your hand, which your Majesty Pegasus is actually a Magispector card always, so it can actually search out that card on normal summon, which is really good. We then play a really awesome surprise spicy tech that I'm going to actually lay face down right here and get you guys to play Guess That Card. This card is super cool as a 1-of in the deck. It's a really cool pendulum monster that you can actually use in this build, which is the only hint I'm going to give you guys. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of Notification Squad, and we are on the road to 100k subscribers, so definitely subscribe because every subscriber counts. So let's go ahead and see what this card is in 3, 2, 1, and definitely comment down below what you think this card is. And it's actually going to be a single copy of the Amorphage Sloth. This card is actually a really cool combo piece in decks. Neither player can special summon monsters from the extra deck except for Amorphage monsters, which is a really cool effect to be able to use in the deck, especially since this card is a dragon and can be summoned off your copy of your Hieratic Seal, which is really cool to be able to just put your copy of Hieratic Seal on your side of the field and then use this card to be able to put on your side of the field off the effect of Hieratic Seal, which is just really neat. I love that about this card, and it can completely lock down the opponent, especially with some of the other cards we're playing in the deck, like Secret Village of the Spellcasters, locking your opponent down from special summoning from the extract, except for Amorphage, which they're probably not playing Amorphage, and then being able to lock down your opponent with the Secret Village of the Spellcaster to lock down spell cards is a lot of lockdown in this deck, and it's really good to combo with your other cards in the deck, like your copies of Appaloosa and stuff like that. It's just really good to be able to lock down your opponent in this deck. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're just going to be playing a few spells in the deck. We're going to start off with a single copy of Dynamist Charge. Dynamist Charge is great in the deck because it can actually search out your copy of your Dynamist monster that's a Dracoslayer, which is just really good in this deck. We then play a single copy of Secret Village of the Spellcaster. Secret Village of the Spellcaster is insane because we play so many different spellcasters in the deck. It's very easy to put this card on your side of the field. It's searchable off your copy of Majesty Pegasus, and it's great as a 1 of the deck to be able to lock down your opponent. The only downside of this card is if you don't control a spellcaster, you can't activate spell cards, which is a really big downside of this card, but you're always going to control a spellcaster in this deck. We can play a new copy of Sky Iris. Sky Iris is great as a one-of in the deck that we're always going to be searching to be able to combo in this deck, and it's great to help you get more of your Odd Eyes cards in this build. We're then playing 3 copies of Triple Tactical Talents. This could be any hand trap. I just really like this card in the deck because being able to just draw 2 is really good in this particular build, just to dig in the deck for more combo pieces, and it's really good because it can also take control of one of your opponent's monsters if we do get hand traps, so it's really good at just dealing with either a really big boss monster opponent has and making it our own boss monster, and then using it for link material or something like that, or drawing 2 to get more combo pieces in the deck. This card is really awesome in the deck and super free to be able to play because you're just going to be able to get to draw 2 if your opponent ashes you, hits you with any hand trap at all. You're going to be able to use this card to be able to draw 2 and recover your plays, which is really nice. I love this card as a 3-of in the deck, and it's super helpful in this build. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start off with 2 copies of Ignister Prometheus. This card is super insane. It's really insane. I love this card in the deck. It's so powerful because it has the ability, once per turn, you can target a pendulum monster on the field or 1 card in the pendulum zone and destroy it. And if you do, shuffle 1 card on the field in the deck, and it does not target, which is really good to be able to shuffle that card. I love that about this card, and it's just super good. And once per turn, you can special summon a Dracoslayer monster from the deck and defense solution, but it can't be used as synchro material for a summon, which is not that big of a deal because you're basically just using this card to be able to get an additional monster on the field and further your plays. We then play a new copy of Majesty Paladin. Paladin is just really good as a 1-of in the deck, and I love this card in the build because it has the ability, when this card is XZ summon, you can add a pendulum monster from your deck to your hand during the end of this turn, which is a really good effect. And once per turn, you can detach a material from this card to special summon out 1 face-up Dracoslayer pendulum monster from your X deck, but it cannot be used for an XZ summon, which is not that big of a deal because you can use it for synchro summons, you can use it for fusion summons. There's so many different ways that you can actually utilize that card. We then play a new copy of Baguska. Baguska is great to be able to throw in defense position just to lock down your opponent, and it's just a really good card to combo with some other cards in the deck like Secret Village of the Spellcaster and our really awesome tech card, Sloth, to be able to combo in this build. We then play a single copy of number 38. Number 38 is great to eat spell cards. It's very easy to make this card in the deck with 2 copies of your Ignister, and it's just really good as a 2-of or 1-of in this build. We then play a single copy of the Dinosaur Power. Dinosaur Power is very easy to put on your side of the field, and it's just a good combo piece to be able to play in the deck. Play a single copy of Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. Vortex Dragon's also a great 1-of in the deck that's basically a walking negate. It's again very easy to summon in this particular build. We then play a single copy of Appaloosa. Appaloosa's great in this deck to be able to use because it has all downwards arrows and it's a monster negate, which is just really insane. We play a single copy of the World Sea Dragon Zealantis. Zealantis is really good because it resets all over your cards, and it's really an insane card. I love that about this card. It's just really good in this particular build. We then play a single copy of Nightmare Unicorn to spin stuff. 1 copy of Selene. Selene is a card that you can put on your side of the field with Secret Village of the Spellcasters, and it combos extremely well in this deck, especially being able to bring back spellcasters from the graveyard. 2 copies of Beyond the Pendulum. Beyond the Pendulum is so good in this deck to be able to search your Pendulum cards, pop cards on the field. It's one of the best link monsters we've ever gotten for Pendulum outside of Electromite. We then play a single copy of IP Masquerena. IP Masquerena is great in this deck as 1-of to be able to make your copy of your Nightmare Unicorn during the opponent's turn, or Appaloosa during the opponent's turn, which is just really good. And then finally, a single copy of the Hieratic Seal. Hieratic Seal, so you can summon out your copy of your Sloth from your deck to your side of the field. And it's very easy to make because we do play quite a few dragons in this deck, and this card makes it really easy to make this card in this build. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play. There's so many different combo lines for the deck depending on what you open in your opening hand, but it's really fun to be able to play and just basically play around with this deck and figure out all the really cool combos. It makes me think of old school Draco Pals, which is really nice because you are playing the Draco cards and the Perform Pals, which is just really, really cool. So anyways, guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.